Live.
We are now live here at Sue-Ann Staff Estate Winery. How's everybody doing? Yes, I hear the internet is. Did we figure out is the internet slow or is it fine? We're good. We're moving on. Yes. Yeah, because out here in the country, some things happen at its own pace sometimes.
That's true.
And luckily, Smith's water delivery happened at their great pace today and brought us water because country living, like long weekend. How about that?
What you doing, Sue-Ann? What you got here?
You know, we're doing some charcuterie today, and we're going to pair that with, I was thinking, what wine goes best with charcuterie? And quite frankly, almost any wine goes, because the perfect charcuterie board should be about all different flavors and textures. But really, is it not just one wine? Charcuterie, Chardonnay. Duh! Doesn't everybody know that? Anyway, so we're going to prove to you today that Chardonnay and charcuterie go really well together. Your charcuterie, so looking into it, and they're so popular right now, right? Like they just seem like everyone's doing a charcuterie board, but do we really know what we're doing when we make it and what's the history of it? So I guess it's a French word, which char means flesh and coute means cooked. Where does this stuff come from? It's not that pleasant, is it?
No.
Was changed over time. So there used to be shops like in the 15th century in France that were just devoted to pork and to making all different kinds of pork, whether it was like made from the organ meats or made smoked or salted or cured. And really, it's kind of the best way to build a charcuterie board is like incorporating all those different flavors and textures in meats into your charcuterie board. So it's both, it's just different flavors. Then as time marched on, it didn't end up not being just about meat. It's about meats and cheeses and all the yummy little accoutrements that go with it, right? So
the pickly things.
Oh, okay, we'll get there. So the first thing I think is you gotta make it look good. Like there really are no rules, right? I think you just have to have a nice variety of what's going to go on it. But we did, as we were like brainstorming this amongst the team here today, we did decide there are a few things that don't go on it. So, the world according to Sue-Ann and team is that you can't put mortadella on a charcuterie board. And if it's on there, just say no.
I'd like to say that I am a mortadella fan, though. I'm like the one voice of dissent, but it's not pretty in the same way as salumi and
like
prosciutto.
On a bun, though, or like on what? Like on a bun or like on a Kaiser bun or like what?
Well, yeah. I mean, to be honest, whenever I buy it at the deli, it doesn't make it home because I just stuff it into my mouth in the car. But yeah, that's just me.
See, that's maybe what it's about. And it's mortadella. Like morta is dead in Italy, and della is her, like of her, right? So, like dead her? No. Don't eat foods that have death associated. Well, I guess all meat is death in some ways. This is getting really morbid fast.
Yeah.
Okay, no pimento loaf. The pimento loaf is not suitable for anything. No, just say no. Spam, just eat it from a tin. Don't tell anybody that you did. Spam does not belong on the charcuterie board. And any like loaves or anything that says faux or anything that has like
no mock.
Oh
no.
yeah.
No mock chicken loaf. No
mock chicken loaf. No.
No, that's a Lunchable. That's not a charcuterie board.
That's right. They're chicken or it's a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Don't loaf it up.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, so variety is king. So let's start with the cheeses because I want to like kind of space out the cheeses a little bit. So I'm thinking like different textures, different flavors, different sources of where it comes from as well. So brie, which of course would come from the cow. Some young and brie is a fairly young cheese as well. Let's have a little bit of goat cheese. So let's get a different source as well. And
oh my God! One of our viewers just said that spam means it's an anagram it means some parts are meat. SPAR.
Or my brother got kicked off Facebook for promoting spam. He's like, promoting spam? I thought spam was meat. I'm like, what, there's other kinds of spam? So anyway, I thought we should do a couple things. So you want, I think, in your variety of things, you want things you can easily pick at and things you have to do a little bit of work at too, right? So that for the cheddar, which is like sticking to the knife here. I'm sure there's a trick to this that someone, if you'd be kind, is like, tell me what the trick is. I thought this is what this knife was good for, with this little bit of ridging to it, that it would put air in behind it and then things will stick to the knife, but well, that clearly isn't true. But anyway, let's do so different color and different texture and different flavor And then just something that can like kind of attack easily on the board as well. So anyway, that might be good. Excuse my fingers on this. But yeah, so let's just put that, we'll push this aside a little bit. Boop. Alrighty, so let's just kind of space out the cheeses and make it a little nice. If it was me, I might even just put that hunk of cheese out there, but without even like, and keep it as groups, like putting some cheddar here, some there. So I think that's kind of like, I think that's yesterday type thing, right? You want to like make it look, you want to kind of like keep it all out there. So keep it all the, so when you look at it, it's visually pleasing, and you know what the heck you're looking at, right?
Well, what so you got there?
Okay, so some meats. Let's break it up a little bit to different types and different flavors and stuff. So it's doing some prosciutto and just making it look pretty. And prosciutto is such a pain, right? Because you got all the like little different layers here.
I know, but it's so worth it.
It really is. So, and I always think it should never be served without melon or something too. But break it up, make it easy for everybody too. So you don't want the full pieces. If it breaks up as it goes down, like big deal. And if there are like really big pieces, you may even want to be nice to kind of just break it up a little bit for everybody, because you might not want a big. I hate being that person that gets a great big chunk. Like, oh, I didn't want to steal all the prosciutto. So.
Hey, with charcuterie boards, it's every man for themselves.
Oh, elbows up. It's kind of like like an auction sale. Right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
There's no rules. You have no friends. Interesting. Okay, so prosciutto, some salted meats. We're gonna do a little bit of the Genoa as well. So we're gonna get a little bit more texture, a little more spice here. So you can do a couple different things. Like you can just kind of like floof it out like that, or actually it looks really pretty when you just kind of take a little bit of time and make a little presentation of it like so. Because you want it to look different looks and different flavors and different textures to it, right? So
yeah.
and build it up like I do with the prosciutto. So give it some height this way too. That way it'll look fresher as people are mowing down through this thing.
Well, and it's easier, like if you are sharing, to just with your fingertips or with the tip of your fork or something to grab it if it's in a pile than if they're flat.
Yep.
Then you're going to be touching the meat a lot.
True.
This is so many jokes to make, so little time.
Let's get the locks out of the way here. And then these big, really chewy, but so flavorful and delicious, like things like summer sausages and really dried salamis. Just gotta cut it really, really, really thin. Take the time to do this, because the thinner, the more paper it's like, the easier it is to eat. And also it's so flavorful. We have too much of it, it just gets a little overwhelming on the palate. So, and then it starts to dominate over everything else, right? So, all right. Well, I think that's gonna be good for a little bit. All right. Let's just space this one out like this. Give it a different look than compared to all the other ones. All right. Now is what all the other little bits that make this work.
So it's like these are the building blocks.
Yeah, those are the building blocks. Yeah. And think of like if you're serving one for 4 people, then everyone's going to want one of something, if not 2 of something. So think about that along the way too. How you're going to proportion it out to make it look great. So okay, so much flavor, so much richness here. You need to cut that richness with things on top of things, right? So think of things that are savory, like some olives. We're gonna put a few little olives out here. Just kind of, and this we can kind of put a few here and there, space it a little bit, because these are gonna be like little pick-at things type thing, right? So
they're the accents.
They're the accents, yeah. And so pickles, some mustard. Oh, I had mustard out. Oh, that's all right. We had like little blobs of mustard, especially if you have things like ham and stuff on it. You might want some mustard. Roasted red peppers, and also olives, like change it up a little bit. Some black, some red, some green. Some crunchy things, like I think some almonds would be great, or some pistachio nuts. Just kind of put them on as the extra look. Some pickly things. We need things that are pickled. So for sure. So gherkins are like absolutely essential. Gherkins, I think anything rich, you need to kind of make that work. And then even like the pickly olives that are in it too, or pickly, what are these, onions? Onions. Let's put them in too, because that's going to like that's really reset the palate. And I'm addicted to gherkins too. I come home after a party or whatever, it's like it's either marbled cheese and a lot of it, or gherkins and a lot of it. And you can read into that however. Any other pickles too, like pickle, any vegetable, like cauliflower or eggplant. What do you think of pickled carrots? Fantastic. Pickled onions. We got the pickled onions out there and the gherkins. Those little mini corn on the cobs from the can, they just keep that in the pantry. Just like pull them as required and put the rest in your pasta at the end of the day. Yeah. So, all right, eat some sweet things to it as well. So, I think like some strawberries, some raspberries would be fantastic. Actually, add some color as well, and it'll help freshen up the palate. A little raspberry. That works. Oh, and then anything, so fruit, like think in 2 dimensions with the fruit. Like do you want it, so some fresh fruit like this, like the strawberries, or do you want to go with some dried fruit? Like we have some apricots already popped here, ready to go. And you can just kind of like space them out a little bit too, or some raisins would be great. Some figs, a couple dried figs here. That's figs. Oh, and then what else do I have? Oh, more gherkins. Where do they come from? Huh? Giggle. All right, some grapes, more color, more dimension. I build it up, make it look beautiful. And the figs. Yes.
Yes. Oh, figs.
Figs. These are Costco right now. And like a whole tray of them for like, I was like $7 or $8. I thought that is just good eating. And because everyone likes the figs, maybe we have to push the raspberry and push some of these olives out of the way and give them a little bit of center stage here. So, because like who doesn't like figs? Nobody I know. And because there's figs there, it might be necessary to put blue cheese down too. So anyway, now also the breads, have some fun there too. I mean, like really, we need a whole bunch of crostinis to go with it. And I think it was also important to make sure we have some other things like different textures too. So some crunchy ones, some gluten-free ones as well. These are the sweet beet ones from Costco, and there's a yummy baguette. So,
Oh, what's this?
oh, that's a pickle, like kind of like mushroom slaw in a sense.
Oh, hello.
And so that on some bread, or that with you had your bread and the meat, and put some mushrooms on top of it. Perfect. It's kind of mushroom relish. Put it on a sandwich.
Yeah,
On top of fish
all
or
good.
chicken. All right. We're gonna do this with the Elisha Chardonnay, charcuterie. Haha. Like, duh. Anyway, so the cool thing with the Chardonnay here is that it's not overly oaked, or this version is not. And I think we're just the way the temperature is changing right now. Things are getting a little cooler, and I find my palate's already changing. I couldn't think about eating starches all summer long, and now suddenly got a little bit of coolness last night. So I'm like, let's get some rice, get some pasta going, and I find that my white palate is changing too. So I'm loving Sauvignon Blancs and the Rosé still, of course, in the day the sunny part of the day. But as it gets cooler, I want some more body, more texture, more flavor, and I think that's where Chardonnay comes in. And the way this has been lately aged in oak, it's only $22.95. So you get some of the influence of the oak, and you have some of the fruit as well. There's a neat little melon note to this wine as well. So like melon and some Granny Smith apples, and then on the palate.
Yeah, it's a really bright Chardonnay.
That melon and the pear come through, and then the spices on top of it, the spice and the vanilla, and the some of the caramel notes, like from it being aged in oak barrels for 8 months. And the cool part, this is aged in a big 5,000 liter cask versus a 225 liter barrel, or so it's aged in a big cask versus a barrique is what we call a 225 liter barrel. So so yum. Oh, all right. You always taste the wine before you taste the food. I can't take it anymore. I am going in. And so, oh, right. I think what also is very important. Good thing we're doing this. Is like, okay, don't be gross. Put like a whole bunch of different knives out, because you're gonna need a different knife for each cheese. So I'm thinking like something a bit more stabby for the brie, a bit more spready for the goat cheese, and then for the meats, let's get another fork for each one of them. Plus, they're all going to get moved around. People aren't going to keep, this fork goes with this and this knife goes with that. That's just not going to happen. But at least we can make some attempts along the way, right? So
At least you start out with like that.
Yeah. And then I have this big spoon in the, let's take that out. That's not pleasant. Let's put just a nice little spoon. Because you're just going to want little spoons of this, right? So just make it all appropriate for the type, because this is just picking, right? And you don't want big blobs of stuff. So, all right. So a little cracker. What was I thinking first? Oh, I was going to do a little bit of the brie, and you can build it, right? So I think when it's your turn strategy, it's like when you go to the buffet line, right? And okay, so what's the most expensive protein? And you're gonna stock up on the crab legs, right? Not the macaroni salad. So all right, so strategize here. So cracker, a little bit of the meat. Woo-woo. So it's your turn at the salad bar. Get on it. and then a little bit of the cheese. Put it together, perfect. And I also like little red pepper slaws and little red pepper jellies and stuff. That'd be great. Put that on top too. Like make it. There's so many flavors here. Let's put all those flavors together.
Oh, Sarah, a very new watcher, wants to know where the winery is. So.
Oh well,
where are we?
How about that? So we're in St. Catharines. We're in the little town of Jordan, just west of St. Catharines. We're on top of the Niagara Escarpment. Our closest neighbors here are Flat Rock Cellars and Westcott Winery. And so up a little street called 17th Street, and then you turn onto Staff Avenue, and that's exactly where you'll find us. Exactly where great-great-great-grandpa Robert put us 200 years ago. So, so all right, going in for the kill. Gorgeous, because building so many flavors there between the saltiness of the prosciutto, the richness of the brie, and a little bit of acidity from the mushroom slaw there, which actually is just from the grocery store. And so need something with some acidity to cut through that, and yet it's big enough to stand up to all those flavors too, right? So. That little bit of oak gives it the structure that nicely pairs with the weight and the flavors here, but the acidity cuts through the fats and oils, cleanses the palate, gets it ready for another bite full of food. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this on my own time. That thing is turned off. But we're gonna keep on going with these because they're resonating, and I'm telling you, I think everyone that's watching these are making me feel like a little bit of a movie star. Going to the fruit stand, like, oh my gosh, I watched your thing on Ratatouille, and so they're all desperate for entertainment, or I don't know, it's a lot of fun. I think we all get a lot out of these, and I think it's just, I don't know, is there any point to them? I'm not really sure, except it's a way to bring us all together at a time where it's tough to really get to see each other. So yeah, keep on hopping online, folks. 12 bottles. Use the little code 12 plus when you're checking out. If you buy 12 bottles or more, complimentary shipping. For those that are watching and are close by, Brought Music Festival tomorrow here. We're doing the Taste for Every Season, where the Brought Music Festival we'll have 14 to 16 string instruments here playing the 4 seasons of Vivaldi, and of course in true Sue-Ann style we'll have a wine to go with every season. So tickets are still available for the Sunday evening performance, not many though, so buy it like today because it will sell out. $99 a person.
And you can do that at broughtmusic.com.
Broughtmusic.com, SueAnnStaff.com to buy some wine. Come on in, say hi, say hello, bring your mask, and we hope to see you here soon. Love you all. Thanks so much. Bye.